a perfect segue actually to introduce Anne Graham of MiB Agents and these extraordinary young survivors who you'll hear about for a moment. MiB Agents is one of, I'd say, my favorite foundations, the most impactful thing that does a beautiful job of marrying the heart with the science. And those who don't know about it should really think about attending the Factor Conference. I believe it's later this in June. Truly a one-of-a-kind type of meeting. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Anne Graham and this extraordinary group up.
Thank you, and I really want to specifically thank Audie for the sunflower cookies. Cookies are my love language, so big appreciation. I am really the sideshow, not the main event. So Camille, can I ask you to stand, and I'll have everybody introduce themselves, and then I'll go after. Go ahead. By the way, I always put Camille on the spot.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I don't know if I've ever spoken in front of a crowd this big before, so this is new for me. But my name is Camille Brady. I'm 23 years old, and this time last year I graduated from Cornell University, so that's really exciting. Thank you. I guess I'll start with my story. I was first diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma when I was 12 years old. And, I went through the standard chemotherapy regimen and was treated with proton beam radiation and was in remission for about 5 years until I was diagnosed with radiation-induced osteosarcoma. This was all on my left hip, by the way. I always forget to mention that. And when I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, I went through chemotherapy a second time and then had limb salvage surgery, had a total hip replacement, pelvic reconstruction, the whole 9 yards. And I'm kind of recovering from the effects of those surgery today. Went to college with them, navigating one of the most hilliest campuses in America. It was probably not the smartest idea, but it was a great experience, and I studied public policy there. Was not inspired to go into the medical field, but I really appreciate what all of you do. But it was there that I found MiB, and I realized that I didn't really want to ignore my past and wanted to become an advocate. Learning public policy taught me how important it is if policy influences everything we do, including medical research. And we need people in government to listen to us so that we get what we want and the funding that we need to find better solutions. So I live in DC now, and with MiB, I've been on Capitol Hill countless times, pushing for legislation, pushing for cancer research and pediatrics. But in my professional life, I work in nuclear energy. So that's what I'm doing now. I work for the Nuclear Energy Institute, which is the trade organization for the commercial nuclear energy space, and we advocate for clean energy, which is also really cool. And that's where medical isotopes come from. So that's a fun pivot too. Still learning about that. But yeah, I kind of find myself in this space where I'm very passionate about climate change and sustainability, but also about my past and what I've been through. So still young, just graduated school and kind of figuring out where this is all going to take me, but advocacy is definitely at the forefront of that. So I really appreciate what all of you have done, what all of you are doing in research, and I'd love to be a resource to all of you on Capitol Hill if you need me, so thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Anaya Sharik. I'm actually the youngest person in our group, and I'm not on Next Gen, so my badge is kind of lying to everybody. I'm on the junior advisory board, so I'm one below these guys. These guys are my mentors. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a rising high school senior. A little bit about me. I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in my right femur when I was 11 years old. And I did the standard MAP treatment and had a limb salvage when I was 12, the day before my 12th birthday, here at Northwestern. So it's really great to be back and to be speaking here in this room. I was in remission for 2 years, and when I was 14, I relapsed in the same spot in my femur, and I opted to do a hip dysarthritic amputation. And since April, I'm now 2 years NED, thankfully. And yeah, with all of that, I joined MiB Agents and have been on the junior advisory board for about, I think, 2 years as well. And with them, I've also been on the Hill advocating, especially for the Michaela Nayland Give Kids a Chance Act. Michaela, who was on our board as well, and was a really good friend of mine since we were 13 years old. And with all of that, also with MiB Agents, I'm the co-host for the Osteo podcast, where we talk about our experiences with osteosarcoma, and we interview a lot of people through MiB Agents, including pharmaceutical members and people on our board and on our executive board, which is all super exciting. And with my advocacy work, kind of like Camille, I've not been pursued or coerced into the med path yet, which is very against what my mom kind of wishes me to do, unfortunately. But with that, kind of like Camille also, I take a lot of inspiration from her, and I know a lot of people will as well, because she's so inspiring. I'm going to also be majoring in public policy and hopefully also double majoring in epidemiology as a pre-law track. Again, my mom really wants me to do pre-med and is hoping with being on MiB Agents, I kind of get the feel for it. But I'm really excited for the future and with applying to schools in the fall. And I'm really thankful for everyone in this room who has been a part of osteosarcoma and the furthering of research. And yeah, thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Andrew Basaga. I am doing the med thing, so there's a little change of pace there. When I was 12, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in my right proximal femur. I had a pretty straightforward story. I went through the standard kind of MAP chemotherapy. I'm 19 now, or sorry, 21. Oh my gosh, 21 now. It's been a blur a little bit, but 21 now. So about 7 or 8 years NED. I'd like to say, when I got out of treatment, it was kind of like, I'd like to do advocacy and I'd like to become a doctor immediately. But I was in 8th grade, kind of going to high school, and you're kind of, in a developmental point in your life, you kind of don't really know. But what changed it for me was kind of this. When you're going through treatment, you kind of normalize things that are very abnormal, right? You kind of talk about things that would shock most people. And it shocked me when I would talk about them and they kind of put value in the things I was saying. Whether it was, a grant meeting where I was giving my opinion to doctors, where to give money, talking to a patient who's asking about what kind of surgeries were available to them, talking to a father whose daughter was just diagnosed. So what we've all went through was really hard, but it kind of puts us in a unique position to have a unique kind of voice. And seeing the weight my voice kind of carries in a room full of professionals like this, it made me realize I don't want to kind of close that chapter in my life. I want to be able to use it to kind of push the field forward. So in being a physician, I kind of want to be able to advocate on both sides of the stethoscope and kind of give my own survival some purpose bigger than myself. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Matthew Seelan. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had osteosarcoma, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma just weeks before my 15th birthday in my left proximal humerus. I am now 8 years NED, and I just graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison with a biomedical engineering degree, so Dr. Morse on Wisconsin. Yeah. And for me, why advocacy and why medicine is really a story of redefining my journey. Being a patient is all about passivity. You're receiving treatment, you're getting surgeries. For me, 2 limb salvage surgeries. It's an experience of receiving. Now, being an advocate is now giving back, being active. And for me, my story of really being inspired by advocacy was at the MiB Factor conference, where This was about 4 years ago. We had a patient panel, and I was sitting in the crowd and watching young osteosarcoma survivors talk and collaborate with families, researchers, and physicians about their experience, really giving back their story, which is something that has inspired me today and will continue to inspire me in my advocacy efforts and in hopefully medical school very soon. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I have the next slide, please? And while that comes up, I'll just tell you that these young adults inspire me. Like I think they inspire everybody that they come in contact with. But this group, along with their fellow junior advisory board members who are age 15 to 20, and the next gen members who are age 21 to 26, spent a lot of time on Capitol Hill over the last 2 years working on the Michaela Nayland Give Kids a Chance Act. And they are pivotal. They were absolutely pivotal in making sure that that bill or that piece of legislation became law. It's now law, and it is in large part with Nancy Goodman, of course, who relied on our group to take over 150 other kids and young adults who have experienced cancer around Capitol Hill. This piece of legislation, named after one of our junior board members, is going to change the face of pediatric oncology. It mostly, I think the biggest piece of it is being able to incentivize pharma to create drugs for this community. Okay, so by the way, seriously, they passed a bill. They made it law. Okay, I'm going to go through this really quickly. These are just a couple of ways to engage with MiB. First up is our newsletter. It's called Connective Issue. And in that connective issue is news on connective issue and mostly osteosarcoma. There's new clinical trials are posted there. There's job openings for you all that can be posted there and read and taken up on. Turbo is our international virtual tumor board. This program gives me so much hope. We have people calling from India, Hong Kong, Kansas, and when they have a difficult case, and they can present it to, obviously, an international or virtual tumor board. Patients Powering Research. This is a program that any of you can participate in. It's called the Research Bee. And it's where you can sign up on our website or just hit the QR code here. If you have a study and you need qualitative data, you need patient input, you want to hear what worked when they were on a clinical trial or what happened when they had limb salvage surgery, or you want to inform your own study, just go on here. It's free to academic institutions. It's very popular. And then the last piece is the Factor Conference, which is coming up at the end of June. Last thing, I'll just say what our junior board and next gen boards here have said, and that is that you inspire us. And we would not be here without you and your perseverance in studying your sarcoma, in your sarcoma world, and doing the research and caring greatly about the people that you're serving every day. So thank you. And great first panel, by the way. Thanks.
Thank you all. And that was, yet again, a very touching and inspirational set of young people. I'd like to call Jeff Kramer up to the stage to talk about an awareness campaign. Jeff, a favor to all of us. We're running late and we need to leave enough time. So accelerate, please. Accelerate the best you can. Use your
I'll
New
do
York
my
voice.
best. And now for something completely different. My career path has been unlike anybody in this room. I am a broadcast technician and have been a senior producer for a weekly magazine at a local TV station in Washington, D.C., and have done a number of things in the broadcast area. and media relations area. I became an advocate because I lost my daughter to chondrosarcoma, and she wanted to be an advocate, and I told her, I made a promise to her that that's what we would do. And so we created the Chondrosarcoma Foundation. In doing so, we've been at it for 6 years now, and we've created a campaign with SARC called Smashing Sarcoma. It is with USA Pickleball. So it is an effort that we are working with USA Pickleball. Now we have a bunch of campaigns. You know, we all have, next month is Sarcoma Awareness Month, and we all have our own individual campaigns. There's Rare Cancer Day, and there's a whole lot of campaigns. We're good about having these campaigns, and they do have value. What we lack is the ability to reach the public. And we need to do a better job of that. And the reason we need to do a better job is, let me see if I can, and this is the only data I'll share, this comes from our patient registry. If you look at our initial, the time a person has initial symptoms to the time they go see a doctor because of those symptoms, and they tend to ignore them, 434 days pass. That's way more than a year. It's about 1 year and 2 months. If you look at misdiagnosis, you're adding another 504 days to that. And by the time you get properly diagnosed, another 82 days go by before you get treatment. If we were to establish effective public relations, public education campaigns that look at early detection and early intervention, we would do a much better job of getting people to the doctor quicker and being able to do our interventions a lot quicker and with more success. We fell into the ability to work with USA Pickleball because of this person, Jamie Elliott. Unfortunately, she passed away on October 15th after 9 years of her struggle with chondrosarcoma. She beat the odds, and she was an incredible person. She was a flight attendant for Braniff Airlines. She was an A-listed stunt woman with A-listed Hollywood movies like RoboCop and Free Willy. She worked with Meg Ryan, and she had an incredible past, and she was into golf and she was into pickleball. And she won lots of awards for pickleball. And she was a pickleball ambassador. So we were able to reach out to pickleball because of the connection we had with Jamie. And we wrote a couple articles about Jamie. And this is a little video that I want to share.
Hi, I'm Jamie Elliott, a USA Pickleball ambassador. This is my adaptive wheelchair, Barney, named after Barney McCallum, one of the original founders of pickleball. 8 years ago, I slipped on ice and started having back pain. I ignored it, pain got worse. Doctors discovered a rare tumor called chondrosarcoma. I had 4 ribs removed, and a year later, another tumor from my spine. Now I play pickleball with Barney. Having a sarcoma can be deadly. Early detection and intervention saves lives.
If my tumor had not been detected when it was, I might not be here today. Learn the signs and symptoms of sarcoma on our website. Join the fight and let's smash sarcoma.
Yeah, did y'all see all of her medals in the background? She wanted to show those, and she's very proud. She was very proud of those. We've created a website called SmashingSarcoma.org. We used a lot of content thanks to SARC that they had on sarcoma. We really push knowing your symptoms, signs and symptoms, and carrying forth a message that early intervention saves lives. We have the directory, the SARC directory, which is outstanding, by the way, if you haven't seen it. It's on the website, and it gives people access to that. And this year, we're featuring Jackie Garcia. Jackie Garcia suffers from liposarcoma, and this was an article on her in People magazine. When she gained 100 pounds in a year, docs told her to exercise, walk, and eat some almonds. They didn't know she had a 20-pound tumor. And she is using pickleball to come back, to make a comeback. She's had surgery, she's had treatment, and she's making a comeback using pickleball. So we are featuring her this year. Next month, there'll be an article with her and about her journey. So each year we're going to have somebody. We'll also have a video like Jamie's at the national tournaments. We also are going to have advertisements and articles on her at regional tournaments for USA Pickleball. So this is an outlet that we have with USA Pickleball. And want to encourage us. I think if there's one message, we need to make some noise. We have to let folks know. We have to build relationships with venues like the NFL, like baseball, with sporting, with entertainment venues. We need to reach out and we need to have relationships with them, carry forth some messages that are important, and that's what I want to encourage all of us to do. Is if I leave you with one message today, it's make some noise. Thank you. Is that quick enough?
We got some time back. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Dr. Sandra D'Angelo. I'm sorry, Dr. Gina D'Amato. Sorry.
It's okay.
My head was in a different place.
All Italian women with curly hair are the same. So yes. Speaking of patient advocacy groups, we have developed a Horowitz Solitary Fibrous Tumor Initiative from a generous donation from my patient, Mr. Joel Horowitz, who I think his flight is delayed, but he was supposed to be in the audience. And it's one of the aims of the grant is to develop a patient registry. Sarcoma, so we have developed a solitary fibrous tumor patient registry and biobanking. So it's now open internationally. We have right now over 100 patients registered and over 50 that are fully enrolled. So we want to encourage everyone to send their patients to the website, which I'm going to be showing in a second. And we also are opening a clinical trial, the Perspectives. We're one of several institutions that are going to be opening up the FAP, the radio theragnostics trials we listened to earlier today. SFT is one of the sarcomas that have the highest rates of being FAP positive, the fibroblast activating protein, not to be confused with familial adenomatous polyposis. So they're going to show the slide, take a picture of the QR code, and really, and also you can email me if you want to. We have flyers in different languages that you can pass out to your patients. So please, if you can get them either from the website or just email me. So thank you.
For those that are paying attention to the dark curly hair, this is Gina D'Amato. And so email her along the way and we'll eventually get that up posted. So it'll be good. Go ahead, Steve.
Next, we very briefly want to have Annie Ashe from the National Leiomyosarcoma Foundation come up. Anything you do to keep the time short would be appreciated. We need to talk about some trials that we're doing. And thank you.
I sincerely thank SARC for allowing us a few moments to highlight the work of the National Leiomyosarcoma Foundation. Since our founding in 1997, we're in our 29th year of providing resource support, education, advocacy, and services to the patients and caregivers of the community. But we also help other sarcoma subtypes as well, PEComa, UPS, and anyone else that happens to give us a call nationally or internationally. We have a support line, 24/7 access to us, and we talk to patients all over the world. We also help fund LMS research initiatives since 2002. And over the years, the foundation has evolved and expanded its initiatives in response to the growing needs of the LMS community and the research community. We're very proud of our signature program, which is the International LMS Research Roundtable that was conceived in 2018 in Rome with researchers and inspired by Dr. Scott Okuno. And we were very proud of the partnership, the collaborative partnership with Spain. And it was launched in 2019 with the host being Dr. Jonathan Trent at that time. We have 140 international physician scientists. And this year, Dr. Roberta Sanfilippo is our gracious host for the October session. We'll be in our 8th year in Milan, Italy, October 2nd and 3rd. We invite you all to please join us. The idea of the roundtable is to, of course, address scientific challenges in the study of leiomyosarcoma, which can transfer to any sarcoma subtype and has. And the collaborative efforts that come from that have been very remarkable and very, very rewarding for everyone that has attended. We also have community roundtables for patients and caregivers as well, where we have the clinical trial perspectives, where we invite patients that are considering clinical trials, those that are in a clinical trial, and those that have completed clinical trials, to come together and discuss their perspectives, where patients can come back and talk to their oncologists about what they've heard, and it empowers them to be their own self-advocates. We also have the community roundtable for patients and caregivers that come together to discuss their challenges. There's common challenges in all the sarcomas, as we know, in treatment. And so they come together to discuss and prioritize those challenges with other patient advocacy organizations that we invite to join us. And chondrosarcoma has joined us, and I appreciate that. And we have had NORD endorsement on this too, the National Organization for Rare Diseases. So we appreciate that. And that gives us the opportunity to address their prioritized challenges, to see what we can do as patient advocates to help the challenge of their journey. We also have the LMS Research and Review Series, where you all have been graciously giving of your time to speak to our patients and families about clinical trial updates, research initiatives that are in the pipeline, and this gives them hope of what is going on in the research arena to allow them to know as much as they can about their disease. The Early Career Awards we have also initiated. There's one recipient in the audience that received our first career award in 2024, which was Jeff Rostowski, who's now going to, from MD Anderson to Wisconsin, I understand. And we also have Dr. Priya Chudasama and Dr. Ryan Denyu, who received our awards as well. We're encouraging award nominations at this time for both awards, with the Early Career Award and especially the Dr. Brian Van Tyne Faculty Peer Award recognition to celebrate excellence in LMS research. This was important to us because Dr. Van Tyne initiated this particular award, and he was very instrumental in our executive committee participation for our foundation, and he will always be part of who we are. May is National Cancer Research Month. As I look in the audience, I remain very grateful for the researchers that are in the room who have supported our foundation and given their gracious time to help us advance our foundation initiatives, speak to our patients, and we're very grateful for working together to better the outcomes for patients in the future. And Dr. Ashe and I are we're very appreciative of what you've done to help our foundation. Dr. Ashe is a 15-year survivor of leiomyosarcoma, and he and I just want to give back to the community, to the patients, and to the researchers that we love. We remain deeply committed to building meaningful relationships between patients, caregivers, researchers, clinicians, and certainly advocacy organizations to accelerate progress, collaboration, and hope for the sarcoma community and the leiomyosarcoma community. So we thank you very much for all you've done for us. Thank you.